This is all about why your networking is not turning into clients. Why all of the hard work of having conversations, meeting with people, connecting with people, following up, isn't actually turning into the clients that you want in your business. And there's really just one big reason why. This is the shift that most of my clients have to realize and make at the beginning. And so we'll talk about it here. I'm gonna go ahead and set the timer for 10 minutes. We'll keep this one short and sweet. But I go into more depth surrounding this topic in my full training video that if you want to check it out, it's here on the channel, or you can go to Instagram, comment the word builder, and I'll send it right to you. All right, so here's the shift. This is so simple, you're gonna just laugh. And it's obvious, but we don't think about it until we hear it, so I'm telling you now. The shift is when we are in front of somebody and we're trying to grow our business, we put pressure on the conversation for this person to become a client. And our mindset becomes, well, I shouldn't meet with people unless they are an ideal client. And then when I'm meeting with people, I am trying to hopefully get them to become a client. And what this does is it just fills the air with pressure. It makes it awkward, and it actually works against everything that you're about, which is curiosity and helping people and being generous. So here's the shift. It's very, very, very simple, and yet completely transforms your business. People know people. People know people. Everybody knows other people. And so what you want to do is shift from looking at a conversation as, hey, this is going to be me booking a client, and shift it to, I'm trying to actually just make connections. This is the goal, to make connections. And what that means is every conversation you have, you're going in with the mindset, I'm going to try to understand where this person's at and be helpful to them, share what I'm doing, and get more connections from that conversation. And so it becomes this domino effect. And the thing is, what happens when you're trying to put pressure to book a client is, like I said, you're filling the air with pressure, and it actually seeps through the whole conversation. People feel these nuances, right? And so suddenly the conversation's no fun, the other person's on the defense, everyone's trying to kind of massage something, and it just doesn't feel good. But the other thing is it stops the flow. And so when you are having connections that lead to more connections and more connections, it's this virtuous flow that continues to build. And then as you help people and get great transformations for them, then that leads to more clients. It's this great flow, and you stop the flow in its tracks when you take this approach. People, even though they don't want to do this, are often doing this when they're trying to grow their business through business development activities. Now, the beauty, by the way, is this whole mindset also works in the online space when you are working on growing the business there and scaling it. But just for the sake of conversation, we're talking about one-on-one meetings, networking, that kind of connection. So instead, when you make connections, that the goal is to create more connections. You're creating a tone and a culture in that conversation of fun and curiosity that we both enjoy. And that's, of course, what you want, but it also keeps that flow moving. And so you're not stopping the stream in its path and damming it up. You're actually allowing that flow to keep continuing. And then here's the beautiful, beautiful thing. If that person does want what you do, they'll say it and you'll know it. And so the cool thing is sometimes you're having this conversation and your only intention is to see if you can get their advice, get some connections, and they're actually, I think I want this, or I know somebody who needs this. And so boom, now actually you are booking clients, but you weren't going in with that intention. So how does this work? It's very simple steps actually, and I'll just walk you through the easy part. And like I said, if you comment builder over on Instagram, My handle is Coach Business Builder, Coach_business_builder. And comment the word builder on any of the posts. I'll send you the video that really walks through this in detail. Or you can just subscribe on the channel here, and it's one of the main tagged videos here. So first step is invite somebody to have a conversation and share your intent. So again, this could be anyone. This could be a neighbor, this could be a friend, this could be a colleague, this could be your kids, schoolmates, parent, this could be somebody at the soccer game, this could be somebody that you know that you met at a get-together. It doesn't matter, it does not have to be the ideal client. This is just somebody who you'd like to share what you're doing and get their help. And so you invite them and you just clearly state your intent. This is the key. Like, you never, you just never want to hide your intent and mask any amount of it. That's when it starts to feel awkward. You know, that's when it starts to feel like, what is this? Am I getting, you know, are you pulling one over on me? Is this an MLM or something? Like, that's when you get into trouble, is when you just don't say what you're doing. And so you clearly say up front, hey, what I'd love to do is share about my business and get your advice and get any ideas you have for me about connections. You just say it. And then when you get to the meeting and you sit down and you have some small talk and you're transitioning into the conversation, you simply remind them of what you said in the invite. It's so simple. In the invite, hey, just a reminder, like, what I'd love to do is share about what I'm doing, tell you about my business, and just get your advice, any thoughts you have. It's always helpful to get people's perspective as an outsider, and would love your thoughts on if there's someone you think I should talk to in your network. Boom. The other nice thing by giving those two pieces is you take the pressure off. If they don't have someone in mind to connect you with, there's not a lot of pressure on that, because they could also just share their thoughts, their feedback, reactions, and that's helpful to you too. You know, side note, like, if you are early on in business or just building it, this is a really good place to get feedback about how you're talking about your business and your positioning and your messaging, because the way they react is going to highlight what kind of questions are there, which actually that reminds me of something I got to remember. And the third step is share about your business. And again, you want to be as specific as possible. This is where, if you've worked on nailing your niche, which I talk about in the Business Builder Growth Plan video, then you've got a really clear way to articulate what it is that you do. But here's where you can share some examples, maybe some stories, and share about what you do. And then you just simply ask for their advice and their connections. And so it's just this process where you dial in your language, you find your words that feel right to you, and you use them every time. All right, so after sharing that, I'd love, first of all, just your reactions. Like, what's your reaction to that? Is anything unclear or clear? I'd also love to get your advice and your thoughts. And then, is there somebody you think I should connect with? Okay, there's my timer. So let me just wrap this up. When you ask for the connection, notice my language. I did not say, is there anybody you think I should talk to? Because that phrase, that word, anybody, it confuses and jumbles the brain. And so what you want to do instead is help their brain hone in on the thing you're asking for. And that's why I use the word someone. Is there someone you think I should talk to? And the problem most of the time with that kind of question is they don't know the type of person that you should talk to yet. And so it's too hard. There's like hundreds of people in their head. They don't know. But by sharing this stuff first and nailing your niche in the way that you talk about your business, it helps their brain hone in on a person or a couple people. And not everyone's going to do that, but a lot of personalities, especially the, I like to call them the sneezers, the people who can't help but share with people about the things they love, the shows they watch, the restaurant they went to, they are going to hone in on like one or two people and be like, oh, you should talk to so-and-so. And so this becomes really powerful because, you know, 50, 60, 70% of the time, people are going to make a connection for you. and then it snowballs. And so what you want to do when they do have someone in mind is really tell them exactly how to connect you. You'd be so surprised how often people just don't know how to make the connection, and they overcomplicate it in their head and then they stall out. And so I'll literally tell them, like, it's really easy. Just email me, email that person, copy me, and say, hey, I'd love for you guys to get to know each other. This is why I think you should connect, and take it from here if you'd like. So again, I go over like exact language for this in my mini course, Reworking Networking. I'll put it in the comments here. But this is what happens then as a result of doing this is 6 degrees of separation. This person is who you're talking to, and they connect you to this person. And then that person connects you to this person, and to this person, and then eventually you find this person, and guess what? This person is already looking for your help. They're already wanting the thing that you offer. And so you don't have to convince them or sell them on anything. You just get to share what you do, let them get a taste for it, and then clearly tell them how you can help. And so again, that's why if you want to go over to Instagram, Comment Builder, the video dives into all the detail of how to do that. But this is the kind of stuff that we work through in the Business Builder Accelerator program. So also, if you're at a place where you want to take your business to the next level, get to that next 20K a month revenue mark, then comment the word grow20 over on my Instagram. I'll send you a full document with everything about what it looks like to work together. So you can consider that. All right, so I'll put it up here, the next video that you should watch. And I've been mentioning it this whole time. So if you like this one, definitely dive into that next one.